hanzi kuri kuita actual valuation. Saka nyaya iyoyo yasvika papi?
Maita ngatitenderane munomu. Honorable Speaker vakati na hachisi Wednesday. Musabvunza mvunzo please. We need solutions. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Mpariwa.
Thank you, Chair. Ndiri kuda kutanga nekutaura nyaya ye tripartite negotiating forum. Inova forum ye business, labor ne government. Tiri kunzwa kuti vashandi vehurumende vapa chiga kana kuti notice yekuti vari kuenda pa strike. Asi hatisi kuona government nema ministries are relevant ku tripartite negotiating forum ichimhanya kuita chidokwa kuti vagare pasi nevashandi ivavo kuti zvinhu zvifambe zvakanaka. My proposal, tinokumbirisa kuti ministry igare pasi nevashandi vehurumende nekuti imomo mu tripartite negotiating forum ndo mu chemistry inobuda kuwirirana nokubvumirana kuti tofamba sei.
Honorable Mpariwa, you are very senior in parliament to the budget.
Yes.
Yes.
Because babata TNF yataurwa. Chekupedzesera. Danzwa nyaya yekunzi mabhasikoro kana kuti ma wheelchairs. Vanhu vari kunzi huyai kuHarare. Ndinokumbirisa kuti hurumende through the ministry ye labor ngavaite decentralize. Voendesa ma officials kuma provinces. Kuma districts kunoda kupiwa ma wheelchairs for people with the disabilities. I know kuti are technically functional. Anonetsa nekuti ane chirungu mukati technology. Kuti vanhu vadzidziswe kuti anoshandiswa sei. Pane kuti vanhu vakwidze vanhu already vasiri kukwanisa kupinda mumabhazi kuenda kunocollecta ma wheelchairs kuHarare. Mazvita.
Thank you, Maita. Mamushtaura nye ma wheelchairs not ma bhasikoro handitika. Ma wheelchairs ngatiwira nepapo. Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable Chikuni.
Vakuru varemekedzwa. Ini ndinoda kuedhawo nyaya dzangu kune social welfare. Pane vataura kuti vari kuita cash transfer. Cash transfer pamwe inoenda kuvakuru, pamwe inoenda kuvadoko. Tiri kubvunza kuti nhasi zvetiri kuita budget kwakaiswa mari yakakwana here yekuti mubate madistrict ose, nekuti tine dambudziko rokuti kune madhona anoita cash transfer vanogona kuti veita 6 months ende machembera aya atakati mubumbiro redu remutemo achabhadharwa mari anogona kusawana mari kune madhona iwayo. Uko kusocial welfare votambudzika pakubhadhara mari dziya dzadzichitaurwa. Saka toda kuti kwaiswawo mari here. Hanzi nyama inogutwa pamavhiro, saka nhasi tiri pamavhiro remari, kuuya kwemari nokubuda kwemari. Saka tikuda kubuda kwenyu kwemari nokuuya kwemari mazvikonzida izvozvo here zvemachembere anofanira kupuwa cash transfer, asi kuchizoita zvemadhona anovhiringidza vanogona unopa vari able bodied vosiya futi machembere iwayo. Panoda kuti mubatanidze sezvamakaita bhimu. Ndokufunga kwangu ini bhimu munonyatsoziva kuti dhona abhadhara mari yakati iri targeted kubhimu muchizoidistributa imimi. Zvino kuri kuti dhona unonoenda kuvanhu ega, imi social welfare mouyawo futi kuvanhu, zvovhiringidza vanhu kumusha. Ndo mashoko angu.
Maita yahuikwa. Yes, Honorable. Yes, Honorable. Apa. Yes.
Mazvita.
Aiswe. All right.
Inini ndinoda kukumbira kune zita rangu ndi Honorable Chikuni, Manicaland Province. Ministry of Women's Affairs ne Social Welfare ndio ma ministries ari kwano chaiwo. Ndaide kukumbira Minister Mtuli, Minister wemare, kuti aise mare ku social welfare, itenge motikari kuise kuma districts kuti vakwanise kwende kumisha kuona vanhu vanorwara. Ngekuti ma officers anofanire kuuye kumurwere kumusha. Saka haagoni murwere uya kuya, havakoni kuuye, hakuna motikari dzekuuya ndidzo. Saka mari iyoyo inokwanise kugare kuoffice isikashandi ngoti hakuna unosvikeyo, ivo vashandiwo havauyiwo kwano. Saka vamuturi tipeiwo mari kusocial welfare motikari dzitengwe kumadistricts vanhu vaone kuserviswa.
Maita maswa here nyaya yacho. Okay. Oh, aiwa. Honorable. Yes.
Ngiyabonga Chalimani. Mina mphakamele kuncedisa ibizo lami ngumoli Mkandla. Mireli Matebe North Province. Ngiyona le district yeHwange kulapho engikhona. I-Public Service Committee. Mina ngizwe kukhulunywa ubana ogogo bayahlupheka ukuthola ukudla kabala mali yokuthwala ukudla besisa emakhaya. Owami umbono mbona ngani ngama kanje. I-Public Service, i-Ministry of Energy, i-Ministry of Defense, i-Public Service ikhiphe amabele, i-Defense ikhiphe imoto zamasoja, u-Honorable Chasi akhiphe amafutha. Kube lula ubana ukudla lokhu kuyahanjiswe ngezimoto zamasoja. Wabadala badubeke emakhaya la. Sizwile lapha kuthiwa khona uyathatha ibhakede anikelwa nomkhipheleyo. Ekucineni ibhakede leliyana licina seliligabha ngoba kasoze kwansi ukuthwala ngekhanda uzadinga inqola ezamthwalela umumbu ukuthi uyefika ngekhaya uyafika sethwele igabha. Siyacela kubona ama ministries la amathathu kahlangane abone ukubana ogogo bahangiselwa ukudla emakhaya. Sesikhathele ukukhipha izimali sithwalela ogogo ngezimota amafutha ayadura. Ngiyabonga.
Uyezwa uMasanga? Okay. Yeah, ndakuda one chat. Yeah, yes, Chief Whip. Ndarutonga takuda one. Depends. Time atisina. Time atisina.
Pamsoro chairman. Ini ndoda kutaura pamsoro pe NASA. Ministry ndingati zvinhu zviviri. Chokutanga ndambonzwa PEMSEC vachitaura kuti kune technology yavanofunga kuti vanoda kuishandisa kuti vagonge vachishanda in the comfort of their offices. Handifungi kuti as a Ministry of Social Welfare you would want the comfort of your offices. You want to get to where people are. Chipiri nde NASA the Ministry of Finance pamwe chete makabatana. Amufungi here kuti Ministry of Labor haina capacity to regulate NASA. NASA has been investing. I know of companies dzamuri investor dzimwe ma competitors dzimwe apikuziko here kunoperera mari yavanhu vakacontributa in the way yokuti vanhu iko zvino vaku receive below their reasonable expectations. Saka ndinofunga kuti NASA as Ministry of Labor ndifungi kuti mune capacity to regulate what they are doing. That institution is like it was designed to make other people money, not those who were designed, who are pensioners. So imimide machimbo isiya yatsvakirwa regulator. Ministry of Finance should be able to look after that.
Thank you. Mr. Masanga, can you please respond from there?
Thank you.
Honorable Muliswa.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. I will respond to the first question raised on Tongogara refugees. I just wanted to say we have international obligations. At one time, we were also refugees in neighboring countries, and it should not be seen as a cost to us to look after. It's reciprocal if we talk about diplomatic language. So we shouldn't look at it as a cost because we have signed international protocols which obligates us as government to look after refugees. And I think it's also good when refugees talk good about our country as good hosts, but we will try and minimize the support because we are also talking livelihoods. Tongogara is a huge farm, and we are embarking on livelihood projects, and they are doing piggery, chicken, some are running tuck shops, and no longer require government assistance. It's only when their crops fail that government chips in to assist. And we also have protocols that prescribe cessation. If things are settled in their home countries, they are no longer entitled to remain here, but I have indicated that certain refugees have taken us as a ministry to court, refusing to abide by the cessation clause. Then the other question was about ferrying maize, if the money cannot be used to move maize. I think the operational budget for moving grain is huge. We have an obligation as government to take grain to at most 5 kilometers to the nearest distribution point. But this is not possible because of financial constraints, but we are trying by all means to take grain closer to the people. And we have engaged the DDF and the ZNA. I think it was another question. We are providing an operational budget, and we have just written to the Minister of Energy to have special facilities with the petrol trade so that these Army and DDF trucks can easily access fuel. And Secretary Magombo has just responded, and we are working at provincial level to come up with special facilities to fuel the ZNA and the DDF trucks. The issue of productivity, yes, I have already indicated from Honorable Nyashanu that we now have a draft bill on the National Productivity Institute because the issues of productivity are real. We need to enhance productivity so that Zimbabwe becomes competitive. We are coming up with the law. Currently, we have an ad hoc arrangement where we have an interim body looking after productivity and a secretariat from the Department of Labor, and already they are carrying out sessions on productivity, working with national employment councils. Able-bodied beneficiaries. It's a complicated process of identifying beneficiaries. We have to look after the disabled, we have to look after orphans and vulnerable children, the chronically ill. But some other households have no source of income. And normally when we do community-based targeting, it's the community that identifies people that are regarded as vulnerable within communities. But again, as ministry, we need to go and verify the recommendations that we get from the communities that identify beneficiaries. And this is where we are found wanting because we are not mobile. And at the end of the day, we go by what we receive from the ward and village committees. But I totally want to agree with you that we require to validate information. We are also guided by the ZIMVAG report, which identifies vulnerable people in particular districts. And this also acts as our way of identifying people to benefit. When people are hungry and you have an able-bodied or labor-endowed a beneficiary within the household, people are then expected to do food for work. And this has started. Unfortunately, when the rains start, we have to suspend the food for work program so that people attend to their fields to achieve food security. So we'll discontinue the food for work in November as soon as the rains start, and then start after harvesting so that people divert their labor to their own personal plots. National Productivity Center update, I think I've already done that. NASA pension review, that has already been done. The NASA pensions have been reviewed from 80 to 200 effective 1 October. And we are going to pay the arrears because for October, the pay sheets had already been done. But the arrears for October are going to be paid on the November pay sheet. And the minister has already made that announcement. And also the occupational health and affected pensioners, those who are injured at work, they are also going to have their pensions reviewed. Honorable Mpariwa talked about the TNF. It is there and we continue to engage. I'm the government chief negotiator. We have just met my civil servants 2 weeks ago. They presented their position paper and I was discussing with Secretary Gwamatangane Zuro, and we are going to meet again with the representatives of the government workers on Tuesday. We are working very well with the Apex Council of Government. They presented their demands, and I think you have seen what the government has done. In October, in February, January, February, March, the president granted a cushion allowance, which went a long way to cushion civil servants. We then effected a cost of living adjustment in April, but because of rising inflation, we had to review, paid another cushion in July, and effected another salary increase effective in September, and they are now demanding another salary increase, and I've already indicated that the Treasury has cleared the way for us to pay all government workers the 13th check, inclusive of allowances, and this was communicated to the workers in a meeting that we held 3 weeks ago. So we are going to meet our workers and deliberate on their demands on Tuesday. And each time workers request for a meeting, we respond positively. But as unions, Honorable Mpariwa Akambosenza, Minister of Labour, they will continue to make noises in order to get attention, but we don't ignore such calls. How are the workers' concerns being addressed? I talked about that. Wheelchairs, I totally agree with you, Honorable. We need to decentralize, but we are having to request people to come to Harare with quotations, and it has its own challenges. But it's our officers in the disability department who should be going down to the ground and doing assessments. We are doing this with the limited resources that we have, but surely we need vehicles to get to the people. We are asking too much from the vulnerable households in terms of bus fare to come to Harare, and the ministry should get to the people. Honorable Chikwama talked about HSCT. There is no cash payment done by donors which the ministry has not sanctioned. And normally when the donors do their payments, our officers are there to make sure that the issues to do with the cash and food distribution are not politicized. So that's what we are doing. When you see the donors paying out money, and we know the districts that are covered by the donors, they are 18. And the process of paying cash has been discontinued, and government has taken over from the donors, except for WFP, which gives out a cash component in Tongogara and in the areas that they operate. The Child Protection Fund, where we were getting money directly from UNICEF, there is no longer going to be cash payments. I think they are just winding up their obligations up to June, their outstanding payments, and government from there on will take over the cash payments. Honorable Shikuni appealed for vehicles for the department. I think they are just complementing what we have already discussed with the Treasury, that we need to be mobile. I would also want to indicate that the situation of transport was so critical. We had to ask Madonnas to assist, and 2 months ago, we got 6 vehicles from World Food Program, second-hand vehicles. And because the head office was virtually grounded, we could not move. And those vehicles have all been put under the Department of Social Welfare, and 2 of them are going to provinces, so that we also assist provinces to be mobile. Transport to get grain to the people, yes, I've already addressed that. I know DDF and ZNA trucks may not be adequate. We'll continue to explore other possibilities to make sure that the government pays for transport to get grain to the people. MIS system, it's for monitoring purposes. When I talked about MIS system, which then allows us to monitor the various programs, it's for us, the people in Harare, but we expect our people to continue interacting with clients on the ground. Then the NASA issue, Honorable Togarepi, it's another sensitive area. I think there's been debate. Kuti yoenda kupi, is it ku Treasury? It's a bit difficult. In all jurisdictions that I've interacted with, this is a tripartite body which does not belong to government. NASA is not a government parastatal. NASA is a tripartite body belonging to workers, business, and labor. And even if you look at the board composition in NASA, the minister appoints 3 government representatives. MCOS appoints 3 employer representatives, and the workers through ZCTU appoint 3 worker representatives to make 9 board members. But for monitoring and supervisory purposes in line with corporate governance, it's the ministry that monitors that, and it will be difficult to convince the other 2 parties to NASA, business and labor, to remove, because these are the social partners under our tripartite arrangement in labor. The money that is invested in NASA is to allow the fund to grow, so that pensioners get a better return. Yes, there have been mistakes in the past, and this is what the ministry is trying to correct, so that NASA does proper investments and don't lose money through the investments. But I totally agree, where poor investment decisions have been made, it denies the pensioner from getting what they require. But I think those are the questions that were put forward to us to respond.
Thank you. Thank you. You left out the flexible labor laws. Can you
Indeed.
just a minute on that.
Flexible labor laws, again, this is why the process has taken too long. To agree as business, labor, and government on one principle, it may take 6 meetings. I know one principle which was giving us headaches, to say maternity leave should not be limited to 3 children. Let it be open in line with the Constitution. Business does not want to hear that, because they are looking at issues, President Speaker, Wanotasa issue the productivity. And the workers would want conditions that are also benefiting the worker, and the government tries to be neutral. But I want to say we have finally agreed, and surely the labor laws are going to be flexible, and more powers are going to be delegated to national employment councils. But the labor law reform process was meant to make the labor environment a bit flexible from what it was in the past. We were moving from a socialist-centered labor law to a more democratic labor law, and this is what we have. And when consultations on the labor law starts, you realize that there is now some degree of flexibility to also promote the employer, because it was very difficult for an employer to fire. But the current review will make it easier for employer to say, no, we can't carry on with this lazy worker. Those are the kind of reforms that we are talking about.
Thank you, Mr. Masanga. Honorable Speaker, Madam President, Honorable Simbanega insists that those who want to ask, can they do so? Just one person. For youth, the youth chat. She insists. Stop what? Yes, Madam Shiri. Yes, no. Social welfare and Davara, I've been instructed to do that, Davara. But that's sport chat too.
Tatenda ndinoi shiri chena. Ini ndanzwa minister muchitaura nenyaya Empower Bank. Mukati muna mabranches kuHarare nokuBulawayo. Hamuvoni here kuti zvinoremera vana vedu vanobva kwedu Chipinge uko kana kwedu Mberengwa kana kuBeit Bridge kufambira kuenda kunoopena ma-accounts eEmpower Bank. Zvadini kuti muite mabranches pamadistricts kuti zvirerukire vana vedu kuti vaone access yemari iyoyo.
Maita Honorable Muliswa and Honorable Madzimuri Maptapedza.
My question is, my suggestion is to the Minister of Sport. You've got all these stadiums, and they don't belong to you. You've got this museum, you're putting this, where you're going to be honoring top athletes and so forth. Why don't you take charge of these stadiums? You've got the one in Bulawayo, the hockey stadium. Credit must be given to then Minister of Sport, Dave Coulthard, who did a good job in ensuring that he took it over. But now it's being turned into a pub. The aquatic center is another one. The work of public works is to maintain government property, not to own. So I suggest you make that proposal. You own these sporting stadiums, they're in your hands, and public works does the role of maintenance. It cuts down on costs, you're in charge.
Honorable Madzimure ndima kupedzisira.
Minister, tine talent yakawanda kuvana vedu muma constituency atinogara. Asi hapana kana constituency one ine senda iri inokwanisa kuoneka kuti apa ndo patinonecha talent tichidevelopa vana vedu. Not only that, tiri kubvisa vana muma streets nekubvisa vana baba mudzimba mavanenge vozopedzisira vachirwana namai vachinzi sumukai tiri kumbotsvaira nekuti hakuna kwavanondoona vana vavo vachiita something. Saka policy yamunofanirwa kuti muite ndeyekumeka sure kuti madeveloper nzvimbo masenders ekuti muchifamba muchisvika mukambuzuma you can say I am going there kwandondoona vana vachiita something. Tine mafacilities mamwe anga aripo kudhara akutoitwa dzimba maopen space ari kutorwa pachivakwa dzimba pamwe pacho pachiitwa zvimwe zvisingatonzwisisiki. Sei musina policy yokuti munyatsokuisa plan yenyu and then you follow up year after year kuti kwakati kwane chi kwakati kwane chi so that we harvest ne talent. Wona vana nakamba iko zvino she earns more than anyone, he earns more than anyone else in Zimbabwe. Nekutamba bhora on a weekly basis he earns more than 50,000 pounds. Just imagine all that man coming to Zimbabwe achibatsira ku develop.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Ndu.
Thank you. Nyaya yekudya chemuzvere wotobata mwana. The issue of development of talent at the grassroots should be your concern in terms of seed capital, so that at the tail end you can get revenue as agents for those youths you would have exported. Vaenda ku Liverpool, vaenda ku Coventry, vaenda ku Bundesliga, ku Egypt nekwakadaro. Muri ma-agents mimi. Your quest should be registration as an agent for sports development, which culminates in you getting remuneration, a percentage from the earnings of those you would have exported. This is my line of thinking. Clarion call, favor.
Thank you, Honorable. Yes, Honorable Minister, can you please quickly...
I think in the end, the Honorable whose hands were up ended up just making suggestions and not necessarily questions. And to the Honorable Member in red, I must say, when I was making my statement, I emphasized that we as a ministry, we are really focusing on making sure that the Empower Bank is decentralized to ensure that the most remote youths also have access to the bank. And Honorable Muleswa, I have noted your suggestion on the institutions that we can have MOUs with to make sure that we are able to utilize some of the institutions that are already existing. And Honorable Duna, I've also taken note of your suggestions as well as Honorable Madzimure. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the panel. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Madam President, for affording me this opportunity to chair this session. It has been a pleasure standing here, surrounded by all of you. Thank you so much. We can go to lunch now. It's now 2, so we'll be back here around 3. I'm right? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So can you please remain seated, and we have our presiding officers leave first. Thank you so much, and followed by our